Hello, and welcome to the functional area presentation. We will be discussing the Human Resource Department at the PepsiCo Corporation. To get things going, allow me to introduce to you Ms. Charmion Hunt.
Human resource management, also known as personnel management, is a basic function of strategic management that includes, but is not limited to, recruiting, interviewing potential employees, hiring, promotions, and even employee dismissals. HR focuses on identifying and managing a firm's current and future needs to achieve organizational goals. An impactful and effective HR department within a business focuses on hiring candidates that are the best fit for a role while simultaneously ensuring that they become successful in their new role. In a nutshell, employees that are rewarded and compensated sufficiently are much more likely to remain with the organization and be productive. Employee success ultimately plays a huge role in ensuring that the company achieves their strategic management goals.
We all know HR is the abbreviation for human resources, but HR can also be the abbreviation for one of the primary functions within the department, hiring and recruiting. The Human Resource Department is responsible for the recruiting, screening, interviewing, and hiring of qualified candidates for open positions. The department also administers skill assessments and personality tests to match candidates with the right job within the company. The Human Resource Department also develops employee handbooks that explains company policies and procedures to new hires. This area of human resource management will also promote diversity through the hiring of women and minorities.
Employees are a firm's greatest investment, and training is the most effective way to see a return on that investment. Training is a learning process that involves the acquisition of knowledge and sharpening of skills to enhance the performance of a firm's employees. It is also a vital part of developing employees and reducing turnover within a company. One responsibility of HR is to create training programs that encourage employees to identify with the company's culture and support the firm's vision and mission. It is also their responsibility to assess current training needs and implement effective programs for each division within a firm. Training can take on a variety of different issues that may impact employee performance and engagement, such as generational differences training, public speaking training, as well as training in technical applications like Excel or Visual Basic platforms. It is HR's responsibility to communicate to top management the budget that needs to be allocated in order to facilitate necessary training programs. Essentially, training is a tool that HR uses to refine and sharpen a business's employees to be the best version of themselves and, as a result, perform effectively for a company.
The Human Resource Department is also responsible for employee compensation. The department manages payroll to ensure that employees are paid accurately, on time, and with the correct deductions. The Human Resource Department also manages compensation programs such as pensions and other fringe benefits that the company may offer. The department will also link performance to pay in support of long-term and annual company objectives.
Employee benefits can make or break a firm's ability to attract and retain highly qualified individuals to work for the business. When discussing employee benefits, health insurance is often the first topic of conversation. Good quality employee health insurance creates more costs for the company, but results in lower turnover rates and higher employee morale. According to the National Library of Medicine, employers can attract employees who anticipate working for the company long term by offering health insurance that meets or exceeds the industry standard. Employee well-being programs are offered to encourage healthy lifestyle choices to offset the potential medical costs. Benefits also can include elder care assistance, long-term care insurance, disability insurance, adoption assistance, home buying assistance, and even pet insurance. Of course, HR is responsible for facilitating these programs for a firm's employees.
The Human Resource Department handles all employee relation matters. Employee relations involve employee participation within different organizational activities. The department maintains the relationship between employees and management by promoting communication and fairness within the company. The Human Resource Department also handles disputes between employee and management, disputes between the company and labor unions or any other employee rights organization. Employee relations also involves developing company well-being programs and motivating employees, which in turn creates a strategy supportive culture.
It is HR's responsibility to ensure that the organization complies with employment and labor laws such as workplace discrimination laws, compensation and wage laws, employment benefits laws, workplace safety, and immigration laws. Complying with these laws is not only the ethical thing to do, but it also keeps the organization from being held liable by local, state, or even the federal governments. Laws that were enacted to prevent workplace discrimination based on age, disability, national origin, religion, race, color, sex, or pregnancy status are considered workplace discrimination laws and include the Americans with Disabilities Act, the Equal Pay Act, and the Pregnancy Discrimination Act. The Fair Labor Standards Act is regulated by the U.S. Department of Labor and outlines the 40-hour work week and the requirements for overtime pay, dictates the minimum wage, and sets child labor regulations, and all firms must abide by these laws or face legal repercussions. It is HR's responsibility to investigate internal reports that these laws have been violated and issue any necessary corrective actions to stop or correct these violations.
The duties and responsibilities that we have discussed will be used to support PepsiCo's long-term objective, which is to seek increased market share for present products in present market through greater marketing. The Human Resource Department will implement strategies within the organization that will assist in the market penetration strategy for the Gatorade brand. During this implementation process, we will be evaluating every aspect of the human side of the organization. Some employees may get fired and replaced with more experienced candidates. Attendance policies and job descriptions may be restructured. Salaries may be increased, or goal-oriented bonuses will be introduced.
There are 6 ways HR will help facilitate an environment that will create a competitive advantage during the strategy implementation process. The first of these methods is analyzing turnover rates to determine where any problems may be. Employee turnover is one of the most important and commonly used HR metrics due to the high costs related to high turnover rates. Keep in mind, employee separations can be voluntary or involuntary. The difference between the two is pretty easy to conceptualize. Voluntary separation occurs when an employee voluntarily resigns from a company, and an involuntary separation is when an employee is terminated due to absenteeism, workplace policy violation, or even poor job performance. Reducing voluntary employee turnover aligns with PepsiCo's goal of maintaining a sustained competitive advantage by reducing budgets allocated to new hire training costs and maintaining a productive and knowledgeable workforce. The second of these methods is to measure and monitor employee engagement and morale scores. These key performance indicators can be measured by performing anonymous surveys in order to receive honest employee feedback. HR will be responsible for facilitating these surveys and translating these results to a form that can be digested by top management. Then these responses can be used to encourage employee empowerment and collaboration within the company. Higher employee empowerment and morale equates to more productivity and potential profit for the company. Tracking employee data to identify high and low performers within PepsiCo can be a useful tool to determine which employees may need extra training to boost their productivity, and it may also provide a platform on which to evaluate performance improvement. If no improvement is indicated, it may also provide a way to initialize the involuntary employee separation process. Separating with low-performing employees can free up operational funds that can be allocated to different areas within the company. HR can also implement more stringent research to determine the going market rates for talent and use this research to align compensation with company goals. Paying employees higher than the market rate will attract more qualified candidates and, in theory, create a more productive environment. Motivated and qualified employees are better suited to enact market penetration strategies to facilitate the growth of the Gatorade brand. The fifth way human resource management will aid in creating a competitive advantage is by designing employee training and development pathways that incorporate the strategic and long-term objectives of the organization. Aligning associate training with the company's mission ensures that employee goals will align with the PepsiCo strategy implementation process. Finally, HR will provide legal guidance on all personnel matters. This ensures a harmonious flow of work is maintained within the company and facilitates an environment where employees can be productive with minimal distraction.
Once we get the ball rolling and plans are in motion, it is very important that we evaluate the strategies that we implement. First, we will establish performance standards for the workforce. Then, we will measure individual and organizational performance. Next, we will compare the actual performance to the planned performance standards, and then take corrective action. I like to call this human input versus human output. It's what the company puts into the employees versus what the employee puts into the company.
In conclusion, PepsiCo's goal of market penetration for the Gatorade brand will not be effective without the Human Resources Management Department. Employees are any business's most valuable asset, and a knowledgeable and efficient HR department ensures that the company maintains a high return on their investment. A workplace free from discrimination and harassment, that is safe to work in, that abides by all labor and employment laws, and empowers its employees through suitable compensation and effective training programs, will provide an environment that facilitates collaboration and productivity, which is essential in implementing a market penetration strategy.
How about a round of applause for Ms. Charmion Hunt? I'm Jeremi Hart, and this has been our PepsiCo Human Resource Management Functional Area presentation in support of the Gatorade brand. God bless.